Walk me through this experience. What's it like when
Oh my
you,
God.
where does it be? Obviously, it begins with you
Yeah.
getting nominated, and you've been nominated for how many years now?
Like three. One
Three.
of the toughest parts, though, Charlie, was people you couldn't tell.
Yeah.
I knew.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
was
I
like,
mean,
where'd my phone call go? I
I
was
know.
waiting by my phone and then I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not, I'd like to just be the 83rd person that you told. And I think I was close to that. So that's all that matters.
You was closer than you think, trust me.
Yeah.
Because one day I talked to you and I knew, but I said to myself, I don't want it to leak out, probably because of, I think Tom Brady told somebody about his retirement
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
somebody leaked it. And,
Oh,
when you talk about retirement or something like that, you should do it, not somebody else.
right. No, and some people are a steel trap. Not me. I'm more like that little scoop you use when you're ice fishing to clear the ice out of the hole. I'm a sieve. So you can't tell me nothing.
I think you would have kept this. If you just don't tell Uncle John or your dad. Your dad probably don't even know how to use social media. He started a Twitter account. LeRoy's in the Hall of Fame. That's why I say I can't tell him. But that's the hardest part, is not telling people because you don't want to lie to your friends and family.
Right.
So you just kind of get them off of it. But it was my wife knew a couple weeks.
Yeah, I read an article about that. So who told her?
Well, what happened was I was at for the San Francisco game for the Packers. I do the Packer tours.
Yeah.
That was on a Friday. They played on Saturday. We're doing the tour, and she's with me. She disappears. I'm like, where's she going? So I'm doing the tour. So then I saw her way down on the suites level on the phone. So I said, well, and she just, whenever she give me the finger, it's something important. Like,
oh, yeah.
Not deep finger,
yeah.
Like 1 minute.
The other finger.
Really, yeah, she's really religious. I don't even think she know what the finger means. But she said, so I'm thinking, I have anxiety. I'm thinking it's about my son. So now I'm trying to, inside panic. I got 43 people staring at me. So I got to be myself. Yeah. So, and when she does this, like everything is good, all clear. I said, then I got back to myself. She knew then they called her.
Oh.
So she knew the Friday before the San Francisco game. So the game goes on. She never told me, never give me no hints or anything. So that's how long. That's when it started off.
And so why then? Because she was surprising you, right? That's why she didn't tell you.
I think
obviously.
They have a new guy, Jim Porter, and Jim is the guy before him used to do the knocks.
Yeah,
Mr. Baker would come to we'd go to a hotel, he'd either knock on your door or call you. Think about that kind of anxiety.
Yeah, right.
I know, right? But Jim didn't really want to do that. He wanted it to be about the players. So he was trying to figure out a way to that's when it got to Woodson. So at that time, they said, well, let's get Woodson to do it. Defensive back, he went in last year. So it would be a big deal. And plus, LeRoy would be surprised. He's probably thinking somebody else would do, or even me, but it would be his team, one of his teammates. So it was awesome.
That's cool. And then, so how did Woodson do it?
They went somewhere and met him. Now, remember, and you've seen this. Well, when we do our skits, we only got one camera guy.
Yeah.
That's my guy. That's my guy.
Yep.
He shoots it. Your guy, Max.
Yeah.
Max shoots it like it's 50 people. He gets every angle. He's falling on the ground. They ain't doing this. They got. No. I mean, I'd rather have Max do it, to be honest, because he'll make sure I look really good.
Yeah, he does a good job of that.
50 people with cameras. They're following. They're driving up to the house. So I didn't really know at first. But the reason why they got me, because my wife knows I'm neurotic and just all over. I can't have my son late to school.
Yeah.
So my daughter calls, can you take me? I said, oh, okay. Well, that means I got to get up really early. So I always grab my favorite sweatshirt when I'm rushing. That's my Packer Polo, the military.
Oh yeah, that's a nice
It's
one.
the one that I wear. Grab, threw it on. So I'm rushing. It's like 5:30 in the morning. Nothing's up but burglars and roosters. It's dark. It's really,
That's a great phrase.
I'm like, you'll do anything for these kids. Why don't you have somebody take them and you sleep? But I can't, especially my son.
Yeah.
So I go over there, I grab the kids, and they're moving slow. I'm like, let's go, let's go, let's go. Then I forgot that I had to do an interview with a young man, Mark, from Racing Journal Times. I forgot because I was thinking about the kids. So he shows up. I'm like, oh my goodness. So we come in, we're at the kitchen table doing the interview, just a normal interview. And I hear bam, bam, bam on the door. And when you hear that, either it's the feds, the Amazon will just leave something.
Yeah.
The police will just come in.
Yeah.
Oh, it's an ex-girlfriend or something. None of those check the boxes. So some said, okay, I got up. And Charlie, I looked out the peephole. I saw Woodson, but I didn't see all the cameras. Yeah, Woodson doing at my door. Had it been Brett Favre, they come to give me a jacket. I would have registered because Brett's my guy. But Woodson being another defensive back, that was platinum. Because I was open the door. When I saw them, it was a feeling over me, Charlie, that was so emotional that you really don't know how you'll ask. But I told my wife this, I understand what women feels like when you want guys to propose. Mm-hmm. Every year you're a finalist and he never does. And you're thinking, and then you get around your friends, you should be married, just like people say, you should be in.
Yeah.
So when he finally does it, and your family and friends, and he proposes to you, that's what it felt like. And I got emotional, but it's my nephew, because I said something, if you saw it, I said, I got to go find my Bible because it's like a calming thing for me. And my nephew made me a shirt say, somebody go get my Bible or something like that. And he FedExed it to me. It was funny. So I was very surprised. I didn't even have any shoes on. It was 11 degrees.
That's still very Wisconsin to open your door, 11 degrees, no shoes. Exactly. Did you have socks at least?
Yeah, I had socks on, but I couldn't feel my. I was just in awe of what was happening. Then I saw the cameras. I saw like 50 Maxes staring at me. Yeah. And these people, now Charlie, these people are from like Texas and all over the country. They got to keep this a secret.
Yeah.
So had they hired a crew from Wisconsin, it mattered.
Oh, it would have gotten out. Someone would have had one too many brandies at the bar and been like, guess what I'm doing tomorrow? We're going over to LeRoy's house. He's in the Hall of Fame.
They've been walking around with your book like,
hey, look at that. Look at
my
that.
guy. I'm leaking it. You won't care. We will care. What are you talking about?
By the way, I will say, I got to make sure I mention, Midwest Survival Guide has one of your recipes in it. And if you like that recipe, you got to get one of LeRoy's many amazing cookbooks. And where can they get those? Let's get the plug in early. Where can they get your...
Just go to pickandsave.com.
Okay.
It's really easy, right? Pickandsave.com. Or you can go to LeRoyButlerInc.com too. We should give away some Hall of Fame stuff.
Yeah, we should do that. Let's do it.
Wait. After Dad and Uncle John.
Oh, yeah. My Uncle John.
If we give away something and they didn't get it, we're in trouble. So after the family, let's give it away like a football. We'll figure it out on your Instagram.
Yeah, that sounds great. That'd be awesome. And I'll throw in a book too or something like that.
Hey.
Yeah, now we got it. Hey, what did Charles Woodson say to you when you...
He said something to the fact, Roy Lee. That's because that's my nickname.
Yeah, I want to ask
Welcome to the Hall of Fame. You made it. And I just thought about my mom because I think people sometimes when you get an award, you try to get everything in before they play the music and play you off.
Right.
like if it's a Academy or an Emmy, like
Yeah.
what you just don't know. So do you have something ready? This is organic. But my mom, I remember her telling me about how important it was to be the same person if you ever make it to the Hall of Fame or win a Super Bowl. And I got very emotional because it just hit me because she passed away like 5 years ago. And we had these discussions about making it because I was a semifinalist years ago and I was never getting to that level. And then it was, I'm telling you, Charlie, because you know how I feel about your parents. I love your parents like they're mine. When your parents say they're proud of you, it makes me, and I just felt her saying that. And that's why I watched the leap video of me and you.
Yeah.
Because your dad's in it. I wish more people would do stuff with their parents. And your dad probably think I'm weird because I love him. Cause I just love that connection.
No, my dad loves you right back.
Because he's probably thinking why LeRoy keeps mentioning me, and this is why I love parents. And my mom was everything, and she told me I'd make it. But you know, you're thinking about the Hall of Fame, Charlie. It's only 375 guys in there.
Yeah.
Only 170 are living. And then you think about 32,000 people played this game and growing. It's pretty remarkable.
It's absolutely incredible. And your mom too. I don't remember if we talked about this or I read this, but when you were a kid, it looked like the odds were stacked against you to ever make it to this level. And you were a Cowboys fan back in the day. Yes. And then would they lose the Super Bowl or did they lose a big game? And what happened? Take the story from
Man, you got a good memory. Charlie, I'm such a huge Cowboy fan. I went up to Mel Blount. He's like 6'4". Okay, 6'4". He's a cornerback for the Steelers. I went up to him this weekend and said, man, I hated you. He was like, why? I said, 'cause I was the biggest Cowboy fan ever. And the Super Bowl against the Steelers, that's the game when Roger Staubach threw it to Jackie Smith and he dropped it, which happens. Yeah. I cried. I cried so hard, and I got up under the bed. And my mom, she yelled on the bed, whether you're under the bed or not, they still lost. That made me laugh because she gave me this humor. You know, because I was funny, kids wouldn't bully me because I was funny. So when I came out, she explained to me the ups and downs. She said, you're going to have some highs and lows. Poverty, wearing hand-me-downs. It's hot. It's 100 degrees with no air conditioning. That's really losing. Losing a game, although it's the last one, you can play next year. And she explained all it to me. I was an early teenager, and I stopped crying. And she said, I like your passion, though. She said, some people are going to be upset, but to be so invested in a game that you're going to play one day. And that made me understand you're going to win some, you're going to lose some, but be measured. And so she was basically, Charlie, giving me therapy, which I'm a big proponent of. When people have these low points, that's when I like to come in. Anybody can have a friend when you sign $100 million Netflix deal like me, and you're going to sign one day. Yeah. Everybody going to want to be our friend. Right. But what about now when we're doing the skits and all over Wisconsin doing stand-up? Were you my friend then? She explained all that to me when I was young.
And then didn't she say that you could win a Super Bowl at some point?
Yes.
Yeah. And then
she said, wouldn't that be a great thing if somebody from the project won a Super Bowl? I was like, yes, that'd be awesome. And then she just explained about the my mom was a reader. She read up on the Hall of Fame and when it started and where it was. And I think I was like 15 years old. So mom kind of knew how my life was going to end up. She was just telling me. Because she wanted to keep me focused, Charlie, because it was so many negative things. Crime, I could say poverty. My first shirt, as you know, is I'm going to the Salvation Army. I was like 8 or 9 years old, and all these toys are there, a bunch of toys. And I'm there with my mom. I'm my mama's boy, so I'm right next to her, because her and my dad got divorced when I was like 4, so she had to do everything. And my sister and brother take off and grab all these toys. The G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip. You weren't born with that toy.
I know the deal though. I know. We had a couple laying around. 1 of 12. We had all my uncle's toys. Yeah.
And there you go.
Yeah.
So I had tears in my eyes a little bit because I said I didn't want toys. She said, "What do you want?" I said, "I want that new shirt." And I go over it. It was just a white T-shirt, but it had a tag. I never popped the tag and said it was new because I wore hand-me-downs.
Yeah. And
I put that shirt on, and it changed my life.
Why?
Because I never had anything new. Like new, if it was a shirt my brother wore on Monday when he got home, I would get that shirt and those pants, wash it in the sink, and hang it up, let it dry, and I wore it the next day. And we did that for years. It never bothered me. And I know my mom couldn't afford it to buy everybody new stuff. So if you're the older kid, you get the newer stuff.
Yeah.
Because the younger kids, she buy it for us new, no one can wear it. The other kids can't because of the size. But if you buy it for them, we can eventually wear it.
Yeah.
I never had on a new shirt. And I wore it to school. My sister was like, she's like my manager because I was special needs. So she did everything for me. She put my braces on my legs, helped me with my crutches, just pushed me around. I couldn't get on the bus because I had to fold this little wheelchair thing up and sit it somewhere. She had to do all that. She was like, "Dude, you can't wear a white T-shirt for a school picture. That picture's permanent." I said, "I'm wearing that shirt. I had already worn it 200 times. It had a little jelly on it right there." Yeah. I said, "I'm wearing this shirt." So she said, "Okay, let me at least wash it." Because I was afraid, anxiety. If you wash it, it'll shrink and it won't fit me anymore. So it was sometime, which is disgusting. It's like 7 days never washed. I used to hide it from my mom so she didn't wash it. She said, "Where's your shirt?" I said, "You can't lie to your mom. She not wash it." She said, "Okay, at least let me spray it." Yeah. I was like, "Okay," but it was clean because I would wear it inside out and keep it clean. But my sister washed it and I wore it. And matter of fact, it's in my book. I'll get you a picture of it. And that's my first shirt.
Oh, yeah. So what did it like mean to you? You think that shirt? Was it just that idea of having something of your own?
Exactly. Yeah. This is mine. I got it from the Salvation Army. And I said to myself, my sister, she said, "One day when you're famous, you have to see that picture." And I couldn't afford to buy the pictures to come home. Mm-hmm. Cause they have them like you have to buy these packages.
Yeah.
And I couldn't afford it. But my teacher, Miss Brown, she knows me. She's a special ed teacher. And the pictures were in my desk. And Charlie, I started crying. I was like, "Is this a joke?" Because I knew I couldn't afford them. But you take the picture and then you send them off and they come back and you pick, do you want an 8x10, 5x7? Yeah. Miss Brown did that. She took my packet because I didn't fill out one. She filled it out, get the pictures for me. But everybody has to take a picture for like the yearbook or something.
Sure. Yeah.
And she put them in there and I saw that picture. That was the happiest day of my life. And my sister, she was crying. My mom cried. "How did you get it?" I said, "I didn't ask her to buy them," because she told me never to ask. And she said, "One day when you're famous, you got to show people this picture." I said, definitely. I'll just never forget that.
And now, put that picture side by side, you with that gold blazer on.
Hey. Yeah. I may be one of those ones. You know how the pastor tells the deacon to come wipe his forehead because he's sweating and crying. Yeah. Somebody wipe my forehead. See, that's going to be emotional. It's emotional.
But and hearing where you came from, and you touched on it. I know we talked about this before, but for folks who don't know, growing up with special needs, what was that like? You mentioned the crutches and the braces. Can you just let people know what that is?
My feet were so pigeon-toed. It was like this, and it's supposed to be like this, so you can run and jump. And it was so difficult for me because they were telling my mom, well, we don't know what, we don't know. We just got these corrective shoes you could put on. They weren't working. My feet would still do this. And then they had these, those braces like Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
To kind of keep your legs straight. And you can't get them wet. So I couldn't go swimming like the other kids. I couldn't run and jump, and Little League sports were out. But it was so difficult. On top of poverty, on top of crime. I mean, this place was, I think more people in Jacksonville, Florida, they're shocked that God chose me to navigate these tough waters to just know where you're going. Because every time my grandmother thought I'd do something bad, she said, you're never going to make it to the NFL stealing cookies. Just ask. And she had a sign that says, take one. Come on, girl. She can see my pocket like this. She said, just ask. Because I was her favorite because I couldn't, and to the point, I couldn't go outside to run and jump. And she didn't want me out there because of the stray bullets people drive by. I mean, you get shot at, you never know. So I would stay inside with her. She used to sell Avon. It's like a cosmetic stuff.
Yeah.
And I used to fill out the forms for her because she had real bad arthritis. And she'd give me $0.25 per one I did. And that 1 month I had like $8. And that was, she was teaching me the value of working.
Yeah.
And she said, yeah, and the other kids were dead broke, but they having fun outside. They dead broke. But I had $8, $9. My sister used to come, let me get $3. I got to go. I said, hey, grandma told me not to give my money to nobody. But I was joking. What I was just, because she was a teenager. I mean, I wanted her to, I said, you can get whatever you want. And when she got her first check, she was a intern nurse.
Yeah, yeah.
Got her first check. It's the first time I ever saw a $100 bill. My sister cashed her check and she showed it to me. And I got like, I started shaking. I was like, wow. And she says, yours. I said, what? She says, yours. Remember you gave me that $3 or $4 long time ago?
Oh, look at that. Interest.
I was crying. I know, right?
Yeah.
I was crying so bad. The money, it was in my hand. I wiped my face with the tears and the money stuck to my face.
That's the kind of stuff you can't even invent.
I know, right? I'm like, and I never told that story. And I don't know if it was the money or is that she was like a mother coach figure to me. Because when I was able to do sports, she would take me because my mom had to work. And she'd give the coach that look like, you better not cut him.
Yeah. I mean, between your sister and, even your brother, you told me the last time that your brother gave up his spot on the team for you. Did I remember that correctly?
Man, you good. My brother Michael means a lot to me because Charlie, he was Aaron Rodgers. He was Brett Favre. He was Doug Williams, Warren Moon. He was the best quarterback in the city. I mean, he had an arm, throw it 75, 80 yards. He's 1 year older than me. And we were in the 8th and 9th grade. It was 8th and 9th grade school, Fort Caroline. And he was taking a test because he was getting ready to go to high school. So he couldn't be in the meeting until at the end. So they're giving out jerseys, and I'm just sitting there hoping I get one. And my brother comes in, him and some of the other guys that were going to make it because they were good. Coach gave me the jersey. So my brother kind of understand what's going on. He know what I want to do since I was a baby. I'm playing the NFL. And this is one of the leaps, right?
Yeah.
He came in there, and it hit him. Like, they got one jersey left, and it's just me and my brother. And Michael said, hey, coach, I'm not really trying to play football. I was just playing it for the girls.
Yeah.
Really, I'm full disclosure. My brother is a passion for him. I mean, he eats, sleeps, drink, everything football. I mean, I'm good, but no, the team needs you. This is the coach giving him the spiel. He said, no, the team needs my brother. He's going to work hard. He's going to do everything. I just, and instead of debating with the coach, he just left. And the coach said, okay, Mr. Butler, come on up. He gave me the jersey. I don't even know what number it was. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
And that was the start of my career in 8th grade, playing on an organized team, not in the inner city, but a school team.
Yeah.
The jerseys are better.
Yeah.
You have cheerleaders.
Yeah.
The inner city league, you got like one cheerleader and she's tired.
Yeah.
Like, you get cheered the whole time. The uniforms don't match, but that changed my life. I told that story when I got married, when I did a toast to my brother, because I don't know what would have happened if I didn't make it, but some kind of way God put it in a position. If that was another player, that player wants to make it. But my brother is like, because he went into the Army. He said, that's kind of the path I want to take. You want to play. And I said, why you do that? He said, you know why I did it. We were a very close family. We were very close. I really appreciate him doing that.
Well, it's cool to see the closeness of your family and how they helped you. They were, in a lot of ways, when the braces came off your legs, it seems like they filled that place. And for a kid to go from the projects of Jacksonville with leg braces to be the guy who invented the Lambeau Leap, that's your movie right there. It's just an incredible story. And it's great that you recount it, and you never forget the people who helped you along the way, which is very cool to
not at all. No,
see. It's
very important. Even my youngest brother, he went to the Air Force. He was amazing. He was smart. He's like a 4.37. I didn't know they go over 2.0. Full disclosure.
Yeah.
He was so smart, and he would help me because I couldn't read. He would help me, and he would help me just like say big words and what they meant. And it was all these words that was, if it was over like 6 letters, my anxiety kicks in and my brain is just like, well, I don't know. He was pretty much the brainiac of the family. He was awesome.
So now you've got you're inductee, you're the member of the class of 2022. So you got a speech prepared. You got to get that going. Is that stressing you out at all?
If you know me like you do, probably not, because I love to talk.
Come on.
I know, right? But the way you got to do this now is going to be different because you have so much time.
Yeah.
And then you're going to do another interview where you can go as long as you want. You can thank everybody you want. So it'll be drill points. And I think my wife, if she wants to do it, which I hope she does, she's going to introduce me to the class. So she got a small speech that lasts a few minutes on video. And then I'll do I think it's going to be 8 to 10 minutes. And that goes fast. So I can't. And here's the reason why I'm already prepared and it's already written, because my mom used to tell me all the time, have 2 speeches. I think I was like 12. I said, Mom, what do you mean 2 speeches? Well, one speech is if you make an A, I'm going to ask you, how'd you do it? There's the speech.
Yeah.
The one other speech is going to be if you make a D as in dog. Like, what happened? There's your speech. So I always thought about that. Be ready. Because when I didn't make it, you got to have something prepared to tell people. Oh, you should have
Right.
made it. You say this. When I made it, I say this. That's kind of part of my speech. So I've already had it ready. But when we met, I just wanted to know how much time.
Yeah, yeah.
But they got it all. I mean, Charlie, this is first class. If you want a prompter down there to remind you, they got it.
Oh, nice.
Clock. If you got, like me, I talk with keywords.
Yeah.
Like when we do our skits, you always tell me where to pick up where you are is a keyword, your last word. That's when I pick up.
Yeah, yeah.
They got people for that. They got about 5 people with headphones on. They want to make you look amazing.
Yeah.
So if I send it to them, they'll have it in a prompter or they'll have just like keywords to know, because they don't want guys. I think last year a couple of guys went on some tangents all over the place.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you don't want it.
Right.
I want to be respectful for the next guy. I don't want
Yeah.
to bore people. I want to get in and out. I'll share it with you. I'll let you look at it.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'd love to take a look. Yeah, maybe I'll throw a joke in there. You know, if you know, that which you can just completely ignore. You know.
Now, can you write me a joke?
Yeah, I'll write you some jokes. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, don't back out now. We're
No.
recording it, right?
I'm not gonna back out. No, you email that over to me. I'll punch
tell
it up.
Dad on you. No, I'm gonna tell your mom. You'll really be in trouble.
By the way, we gotta get you over for a Lent fish fry thing. As soon as Lent start, then yeah, we gotta do that. Well, my mom is ready to roll for that, and my dad is too. They love you, by the way. Thanks for being. You're always very generous with your time, and they appreciate the heck out of it. So
yeah, now I got to get all the family's jerseys back to write HOF on them.
Don't say that too loud. My Uncle John will be tweeting you.
Yeah.
I laughed so hard when I saw that picture on Twitter of you guys, because he texts me. He's like, "Hey, how do I get a hold of LeRoy for the jersey?" And before I could get back to him, I see this picture of you two sitting next to each other on Twitter holding the jersey. I was like, Uncle John found a way. I didn't know he knew how to tweet, but apparently his daughter figured it out for him. Yeah.
I gave him my number. I told him where I am because I'm at Spectrum News 1.
Yeah.
I say, Uncle John, he loves when I call him Uncle John. Instead of John. I say, come down. And he was early, which is great.
Yeah, it is good.
And I gave him the jersey, and because he's such a big fan, and I just appreciate, I love family, and your family's been truly amazing to me, and it's a great connection. And so we definitely got to invite him over too.
Yeah.
So we'll have fun because we've been looking forward to doing this for a while. So it's great timing though.
It is. And I mean, that goes to another thing I wanted to talk to you about. Like you always have been and you right now, currently, every time I've been with you, anytime a fan's there, I mean, you roll out the red carpet for them. You offer them jerseys, signature. You go to the pick and saves and you do the meet and greets and stuff. But that's not something new. That's something you've been doing all the time or your whole career. I read this story. You and Reggie White used to just pop into churches. Is that true?
Yeah.
What was that like?
Shocking. We would go in and just sit in the back and just because he's so big.
Yeah.
And we never wanted our teammates, because they wouldn't have wanted to come, but we didn't want them to know what we were doing. But we would find out, like some churches go on Tuesdays, maybe a Friday, and we'd find it out. And this is a long time ago. There was no internet or nothing like that, or you could just like Google a place. But we would find out through people in the community. And sometimes, like if we played a noon game, it would be churches would move their service back. So I think we had just beat, I think the Vikings or somebody. Really said, I got a church for us in the area. I said, okay. And we sit in the back. And the pastor is preaching. He said, I think that's Reggie. So they would always see him first.
Yeah, right.
That's not Reggie White. So he going on. And then when they passed the offering, we put like a bunch of money in. And then they would say, who put this money in? And eventually people start turning around. That's LeRoy Butler. That's Reggie White. This is awesome. And we used to go up to Milwaukee and just sit in a church and just We didn't even know if it was Catholic, non-denomination, Christian. We just church is church to us.
Yeah.
And just take in the word. And it shocked people. And I wish we could have recorded all of that back when social media wasn't around. It would have been nice to do it. But then Reggie said, no, let's just do it because this is what we want to do.
Yeah.
You know? So I think it was maybe 10 that we've done since he was up there. And every now and then I still kind of do it.
Yeah.
It's cause I think it's a platform that I like, as you talk, I like doing things other players may not do.
Yeah.
And not many guys are going to do that. So it was fun.
What influence did Reggie White have on you as a player and as a person?
Well, leadership, because I didn't know how to lead. But I remember my mom saying this, and it was a great connection. My mom said, be a leader, not a follower. But if you're going to follow, choose the right leader.
Ah.
And that was so impactful to me. I said, Mom, that's just too deep. I'm only like 8. But she was basically telling me, don't go out there trying to get friends with criminals and next thing you know, you're in jail. So when Reggie walked through that door, I felt the leadership. So when he left, I knew how to lead the team. And you lead it by owning out the field, and you lead it by letting your teammate know how much you love them. Mm. You know, when you come in that locker room, whatever your problems are, we can help you fix it. Because guys play better when they have a clear mind, the mental health part of it. I don't have to worry about my wife having a baby, my son's bar mitzvah, or my daughter goes to, somewhere to Chuck E. Cheese. We'll fix all that. You just go play. And that's what I learned from Reggie. And it really helped us because it was a losing culture like the 70s and 80s. So when you got in the 90s, I just learned a lot from him.
Yeah. And you mentioned this with Charles Woodson. He called you Roy Lee, which was your nickname. And then the last time you mentioned, who else had a nickname?
On our team?
Yeah, on your team. Who was Duck? Was it Andre?
Antonio Freeman.
Oh, is that Antonio Freeman? Yeah. What was his nickname?
Quack Man.
Quack Man.
Don't he run? He look like a duck.
Yeah, that's right.
And I remember the guys, Tim McDonald and Merton Hanks. Roy Lee, they told us this guy in the book they give y'all the 40 time. They said this guy's 4'6", 4'7". I said, man, Quack Man run as fast as whatever to get away from y'all. They had guys like 4'3", couldn't catch him.
Yeah.
And so I said, man, Quack Man, the truth, man, excuse me. I say, you gotta quit reading that stuff and get back up, So yeah, man, Free was awesome. He was awesome, fast, football speed. Yeah,
but had a bit of a duck.
He kind like a duck. We call him Quack Man. When he walk in the locker room, whack, 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 whack. He just do like this. But we had so much fun, man.
Yeah,
26 years. Winning the Super Bowl and staying together. It was awesome, man. It was awesome.
Anyone else have nicknames? Did Reggie have a nickname?
Well, we used to call Brett Crew from the Burt Reynolds and the movie when he was in jail. And we said, Crew, there's Crew. That was Burt Reynolds when he was, when they had that movie and when he was in jail. I think Ray Nitschke was in that movie too. So we had like a lot of Dorsey.
What was his?
We used to call him the horse because every time he would score, he would like do his foot like this. I said, dude, you do it like you're a horse. What is going on? So we call him Horse. And then we would make these sound like a horse. It's like 15 guys had all these names and they had a sound attached to it. And I think it really annoyed Coach Holmgren, though. It sounded like we're in a jungle. And he was like, man, what are all these noises? I said, this is the guy's nicknames. And then eventually he said, okay. But it was funny. It was just so funny.
How about Gilbert? Did he have a nickname?
Oh, the Grave Digger.
Grave Digger. That was his nickname.
Yeah.
Got it.
Because he would like sit in, he was my locker mate.
Yeah.
He would sit there and be very quiet and just be watching like a grave digger probably would, right?
That's where he got it. So did the nickname come first and then the shovel?
Oh, that's a good question. I think it was. I think it was simultaneously because when he got it sacked, he was like, "I'm digging their grave,"
Yeah.
and then that name just stuck.
Yeah.
He came up with it, and that's what we would call him. And when we were introduced to defense, he would walk because he had a mask on that, like
Yeah. Yeah.
shield.
The visor, the
Yeah,
black
yeah.
visor. Yeah.
He wouldn't run out, and like he would walk. And he was like, "Whoa, dude, it's just a game. Calm down."
Yeah.
That guy was awesome, man. The only reason why I'm wearing this hat is because of him and Santana. They would not let linemen get to me. No, there's no way. There's no way a lineman was going to block. So they were very unselfish up front. And Gilbert used to tie up two guys. I remember Kevin Gogan, he's 6'6", like 360. I kind of went under him and tackled Emmitt Smith in the backfield. He got up yelling and cursing at me. And I'm just whooping back at him, but I'm selling those whoop tickets. I walked behind Gilbert Brown. Said, "Yeah, now what?" I turned and went to the huddle. I said, "Yeah, that's my boy." And Gilbert was like Nicki Minaj. We got a problem here? I mean, I love that song by Nicki, but yeah, do we have a problem? I mean, no, just that guy, man, 36, this. And this Gilbert's standing there. Like, I mean, he had these massive arms.
Yeah.
That guy was awesome, man. Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other nicknames that you can remember?
Let's see here. Some of them I can't tell.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't know. We could, make it canceled.
Yeah.
There was no cancel culture back then. No. We had quite a few. Some of them are kind of weird.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
because how they got the nickname, you don't want to know that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we'll leave it at that then.
Yeah.
Before we get to some fan questions, I just want to talk briefly about diversity in the NFL, specifically in the upper echelons of the coaching staff and sort of the ownership, the owners and all of that. What are your thoughts on that as it is currently in the NFL, and where can the NFL improve?
Well, here's what I would say to that. To me, I'm more worried about an African-American young lady being on the Supreme Court than this, because that would be impactful and be permanent.
Yeah.
Having an African-American coach, which I played with Ray Rhodes, and he got a chance to do it for 1 year, then he got another chance. When they came out with the Rooney Rule, I thought it was insulting, because I said, they're never going to think about it, you got 31 owners. 32 because the Packers don't have an owner, but they have a board, and it's Murphy. Those guys, now think about it. You got these white guys who got all this money. They probably never had a position where African American gave them a job, so they may not know the impact of letting African American be a head coach. They may be saying, you know what, this is as far as it goes. And some of the owners probably they don't really think about it. They just want the best guy that the group tells them that they want. But the Rooney Rule said if you interview these guys and sign them, we'll give you a draft pick. I knew it wasn't going to work. It wasn't. Right. It really wasn't going to work, Charlie, because you basically telling the team what to do. In any business, I don't tell you what to do. Just don't lie to me in my face or be condescending in my face. Saying all that stuff, it ain't gonna happen. So I bought it. Hey, do what y'all want to do, but I concentrate on African American coordinators, assistant coaches. Eventually, it'll be an African American ownership. There's a young man, I think his name Bob Johnson. I think, I'm not sure, but he may buy the Broncos. He may buy it. I don't think that's going to happen. If it does happen, I'll be happy. Sometimes certain things ain't going to change. It's just not. It's just not, because there's everything. When you're stuck in your way, you're not going to change. You just think that African Americans can only do certain. And I'll take it further. Even if you get an African American GM, they don't hire an African American head coach because they can't. I don't know if the owners tell them not to do it, but they don't. Because if I'm a GM and I got all the power to hire the coach and set the roster, if it's an African American, I think it's qualified, I'm a hiring. You know, even under the Rooney Rule, when you do that, you get benefits. But if they won't even do it, I mean, not even interview, but to interview a guy knowing that you're not going to hire him, that's insulting.
Mm-hmm.
It really isn't. And I think, and Roger Goodell's a good guy. I mean, I met him a bunch of times. He works with a lot of African Americans and minorities. Because then one day I want to see a young lady be a head coach. But it's like all these people are waiting in line for opportunities, and sometimes you just got to work your way up, like Brian Flores did, won 8 out of 9 games and still get fired.
Right.
That's just crazy.
And what do you think is behind the fact that, because you look at the NFL, it's 60-70% people of color, maybe even more, and yet you look at the head coaches and it's, maybe, I don't know, 10% people of color.
Not even.
Yeah, not even. Yeah. So
right. I would flip it the other way, Charlie. What if it was a league, it was 70% white guys and all the coaches were black? I would say, wait a minute, why don't we have some white coaches? I mean, what's wrong here? I mean, or minorities. Whatever way you look at it, you would think, you want America to kind of be together. But sometimes it's hard because when you have the minority of people, well, we can all get along, but when you're in position of power, and my mom used to say, power is dangerous if you don't do it the right way. Give somebody an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't see it ever. You're gonna ever see more than 3 or 4. If you ever see 5 African American coaches at one time, it may be me and you may not be here. Our kids will see it, but we won't.
So you don't have a recommended solution for this. You just think it's going to be what's going to happen until sort of the next generation pushes it forward.
I would recommend getting rid of the Rooney Rule. Just get rid of that, because that makes it worse. Because it's almost like you're trying to make them do right. Let people organically do it right. Because I think most African Americans are thinking, I want to get this job because I'm qualified.
Right.
And it'd be some white guys get a job, they get fired in 2 years. So let a black guy get fired in 2 years.
Right.
But hire the guy that's qualified. And I think it's always a recommendation. Somebody's sitting somewhere and say, let me recommend this guy. So you got to get the recommenders to understand to the owner. If they go to the owner and say, you need to hire this guy, he can probably get you a Super Bowl. But the recommenders they're like, nah, we want this particular guy. He got to be young. He got to be a white guy. He got to be a play caller. Well, that cuts out all the white defensive coaches that can get a job. So the recommenders got this one person they look at to get these jobs. When you say head coach, that's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So you're thinking change. They do all the social changes, but when they go up, the more you go up, ain't no social change. Mm-hmm. Because those people ain't never had to deal with poverty and trying to make changes. They never had to deal with it. So every time I hear about it, I just roll my eyes, like they're not going to do anything about that. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that's, that's unfortunate that's, kind of the takeaway currently, but I guess hopefully the next generation can do something more about that.
Exactly.
Well, let's get to some fan questions. I went on Twitter and I said you were coming on, and I got a bunch of questions for you.
It's not Uncle John, is it?
I don't know. I haven't checked. I haven't updated it in a second. He might be on there. This is from Robin Adams. She says, from one parent to a child on the spectrum to another, what's the most rewarding part of being a parent?
Ooh, like little LeRoy is on the spectrum of autism. And when he said a complete paragraph, it's like the Super Bowl. It's just, every day, a new word, a new gesture is the Hall of Fame. I mean, Dad, I want steak well done like you, Hall of Fame. And that's how parents got to look at it, because you reward success. And he's tall too. He's like, tallest in his class. And I just tell parents, don't give up. Don't think it's just you're the only one with a special needs son, or only one with a daughter that's valedictorian, or your daughter is a tennis player, or your son's a diver. Whatever your kids do, other parents going through the same thing. Put all that energy into your kids and you'll see the rewards, because it's nothing like looking up and seeing your parents or your family before you're about to play. Like if you would stand up, you would really stick your chest out if you see me and your dad and your mom and your family on the front row say, let's go, Charlie. Oh boy. Parents got to do that every day, because that's where we get our energy from, our parents. So yeah, if you can do that, her name Robin.
Yeah, Robin.
Yeah, every day, Robin. It's a game. So I want you to be in that cheering section for your kids, and you'll see them start to change and become this great person, and it's because of you.
That's awesome. Those are incredible words. Joe says, "Where can I get a jersey in Alaska?" There aren't enough of them. I don't know if you know Alaskan jerseys, but maybe we'll send Joe a package or something. Maybe we'll send him a jersey or something. And then we got to figure out where the Packers pro shop is in Alaska for Joe. So they got to get something there. Here's a good one. This from Charlie Weber. How did you balance the skills needed to be good in rushing the passer, playing the ball, and being a solid tackler? Is it different training or learning from others with those skill sets?
Great question. I never wanted to be a hitter, because if you run in there and flying and hitting the guy, first the guy will bounce off of you. I had a conversation with Barry Sanders about that. And he said the hardest thing was getting away from people like me to just tackling. I wasn't looking for style points. I wasn't trying to knock him out. He said he went around those guys, but I would break down, square him up, and just grab cloth and get him down. He said those guys he hated playing, the people like me. So I thought about one day, I said, if I'm going to play a long time in this league, I got to just wrap up for dear life and hope my teammates come help me, but just get a guy down. All the tight ends were bigger than me. And then I would work on my deficiencies. I couldn't catch. My hands are terrible. I don't even know why God gave me hands. I can't use them. But I would just catch a lot of passes. And then I would say, what is something I'm not good at? I would go down to the our media department. Give me a tape of all my missed tackles. Give me a tape of all my drop picks. And I would study them. And then I would take that to practice, and people can see my improvement on all my deficiencies. The things I was good at, I still worked on them, but I did those last. It was always my deficiencies that I wanted to improve.
Got it. And when you had this conversation with Barry Sanders, was it when he was still playing?
No, it was just last week when we were at the Hall of Fame.
Oh, really? Oh.
We was at the NFL honors backstage, because I used to play him all the time.
Yeah.
When we saw each other, we just kind of gravitated and started talking. And the guy says, hey, what's it like? Some producer, what's it like tackling Barry Sanders? I said, first of all, I don't know, because I always miss. But if you could think about having a bar of soap in a bathtub and you're looking for it and you grab it and it's gone. He laughed, It's funny.
We'll get a couple more. Okay. So Rickson, that's his name on the deal. He says, ask him about the chain of lakes in Wapaka. Do you know anything about the chain of lakes in Wapaka? Yeah, you get up there?
Them lakes got some good fish now.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you know somebody that lives down there.
Yeah.
And I am about walleye. I
know.
Yeah. Walleye.
Yeah.
So I used to have a dealership in Wapaka. And every now and then a customer would come by. I give him a big discount on F-150. And he said, hey, I'll take you fishing. And I didn't know they had these great lakes down there, man. Some good fishing down there. And the people, they live right on the lake, and it's a great community. And because everybody knows I only like walleye. So it's a certain lake has walleye, certain lakes just have other stuff.
Yeah.
I don't even say the fish's name. It's just other stuff.
It's walleye
really,
and other stuff.
Yeah, it's walleye or nothing. Oh, it's a bass. Throw it back. Wait. Eat that. No, we can't. Yeah, I used to enjoy that. I enjoy having my dealership up there.
Nice. Cheese curds, deep fried or squeaky?
Deep fried, cuz.
Deep fried. Okay. Got you.
I'm from the South.
Yeah, I know. And here's that was Ben Nihas who said that. I don't think that's how you pronounce his last name, but close enough. And then, okay, this is an interesting one. Can you ask him for some random dishing on his early career teammate, the Magic Man? Yeah. So, for instance, what did you think of the cowboy boot ads for Sweeney's of Manitowoc? And he wants to know if that's too random. So, you remember that?
Well, Mikowski was cool, man. He was like the Fonz and Arnold Schwarzenegger combined. The guy was cool, man. He had that mullet like Joe Dirt. You seen Joe Dirt?
Oh, yeah.
But it was blonde. I love Joe Dirt.
Yeah.
It was blonde, mullet. He wore these shades in the locker room, by the way. And he walked real slow. Like, I'm the Magic Man. And he had put this little white towel in front of his uniform. And the guy was cool, man. He was cool. He was very, very cool. And we used to call him Slick. And he was just, I mean, the guys in the mirror, man, you know, we shaving because we had this big mirror.
Yeah.
Big, so everybody standing up to the mirror, shaving, putting gel in your hair. And then when Magic walks in, everybody stops and look at him like, there go Magic. Yeah, man, he's slick. Magic was cool, man. He talk over just above a whisper. What's up, guys? I said, that's creepy. Yeah, like we do. What's up? What's up? He was awesome, man. Even when Brett Favre came in, he was still cool.
Yeah.
He wasn't like real weirded out because they traded for Brett. He was cool with it. He was fine.
Yeah. Nice.
I love Magic. Great.
Nice. Good story. Let's see here. And then craziest thing. How was LA? What was that whole experience like? The Hollywood experience for the Hall of Fame.
Well, next time I go, you gotta go with me because I've never been around this many famous people, and you can help navigate me. But I was like standing next to people, and they were all over me because I was at Hall of Fame. And it's like Issa Rae. I look up to her because she's an amazing director, producer.
Yeah.
From Insecure.
Yeah, incredible.
And I saw her backstage. I saw Cedric the Entertainer, and I said, you know what? In Hollywood, everybody out here famous. And it's almost like you see paparazzi everywhere chasing people around. And, you know, the weather was fantastic, so my wife loved it. But when you see so many people to know you, and I had people come up to me, it's like, LeRoy, wait a minute, you don't fit. You're too modest. You got to be like, oh, thank. I said, that's not me. And they said, but you're funny. We like that, but you gotta act like a celebrity. I said, how do you do that? So it was a lot of, I mean, you name it, entertainer. I mean, from J-Lo, I mean, Ben Affleck, I mean, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Eminem. You just see these people like at a restaurant, like but they're doing that to me. There's LeRoy Butler. He just got it. And it's like their crew wants to take pictures with you, you know?
Yeah.
I'm such and such producer. Can I get a picture of my son? I said, well, okay. And do you do it? And that was like Grammy award-winning artist, this person or this person. And it was cool, but I think for the most part, for me, I was like, I don't think I can go somewhere and have like 50 security guards. I don't.
Yeah.
Like go out and hang out. You know, just me and my wife. But out there, you can't. You gotta be, you know, be a certain class of people, and that sometimes it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Because I think we all should be on the same level.
Right. Yeah. The celebrity thing gets a little goofy. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It does. It's like you're so full of yourself. Calm down.
Yeah. Hey,
But they're used to people coming after them, so they're used to it.
what did you think of the halftime show? Did you enjoy it? I mean, that's like your era too. When you were when you were coming up, football.
That was it.
That was early '90s. I mean, that was it.
It was great. I mean, Eminem is one of my top 5 rappers of all time.
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg is like on my list as well. But Kendrick Lamar and then Mary J. Blige, my wife, I mean, Mary J. Blige is everything to R&B, and to see her that close, it was great. And Dr. Dre, of course, all those guys, they were great, man. It was great. Just the production, all the people changing, and SoFi Stadium, platinum.
Yeah.
Just the sound system is just, it was great. It was great because you're right. Every song they sang was like in my DNA. And it was probably one of the best.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson and Prince, those are some good halftimes. But Beyonce was great, but this one was fantastic.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was awesome. Yeah, I saw this one tweet of people saying, boy, it's nice that the NFL is finally, not having some like artist for a bunch of old people at the halftime. Wait, I'm the old person now. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, but the 50 Cent, when I saw 50 Cent, I got goosebumps. I love 50 Cent. Because I didn't know he was going to be there.
Yeah, that was a surprise ad.
Yeah, I said, hey, that's 50. It was awesome.
That's cool. Anything else, man, before we wrap up? You got that Leap vodka back there. We got to let people know where they can get that. And I will vouch for the Leap vodka. It's the vodka that I got in my pantry, and it's fantastic in Bloody Marys. And actually, when we did our tailgate last Packers game, we were making up those. It was so cold out, but the Leap vodka, I was keeping people warm.
It'll go down in history because we invited fans.
Yeah, we did. That was
Remember
fun.
that? We invited fans. Your Uncle John and his family came out.
Dad was cooking brats.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was good times.
I just like collaborations, and we got a new label coming out soon, Hall of Fame label. So I just suggest people, you can go to any Pick and Save and pick up some. I'm going to be signing tons of them at Pick and Save in the next, next month, I think. But you can just go to LeRoyButlerInc.com for more information, or go to pickandsave.com. And then I want to, since my daughter, Sierra, loves Jolly Good Grape.
Oh, she's a fan of Jolly Good Grape.
What? She'll drink more than they can make it. What? I say, why do you? I don't know. I said, what about strawberry? Nope, she liked that. So I like collaborations like that, of course. But yeah, so thank you to the fans. The fans are great.
Well, they absolutely are. And for your daughter, we're gonna get some Jolly Good Grape sent over.
Oh my God,
we'll get a case sent over. Yeah, you get me that address. We'll get that case sent over.
She'll start crying like I did, like she made the Hall of Fame. It's just Jolly Good Grape, right?
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, hey, thanks so much for doing this, and we'll be doing more videos soon. I've got every time we do a video, I get so much. The fans love it, and so we'll be doing more of those soon. I'm looking forward to that, and it's great talking to you as always, man.
Well, tell Max to get ready.
I will. I
gotta teach you how to do a fish fry.
Yeah, I know.
You'll be doing that.
That's happening. I'm excited, man.
Thanks a lot, bro.
All right, we'll talk soon, man. Thank you.